Hi guys, so for today I will be demonstrating to you how we installed Solaris operating system by using VirtualBox. So we will need to download first the VirtualBox. So I'm using Windows OS, so I need to download it with Windows host. So pinapakita ko lang na I have installed already both, but let's first start with the VirtualBox app. So just follow my step. So just accept all and click next until you finish. And then let's wait until na-install na siya fully sa laptop or PC natin. And then after installation, click finish. And then before we run the virtual box, syempre kailangan natin i-install yung Solaris OS. And then we'll need to install the text installer which has 742 MB. So ayan, na-install ko na siya. Ayan, may allocated memory na. And then we will need to open the virtual box again and then click new. We'll create a new folder and rename it as Solaris 11.4. And then later on, i-modify ko ulit yung properties niya since I had a lot of struggles nung unang trial and run ko nito. The base memory to 2048 MB and then 32 GB. It's a minimum of 20 GB actually. You can pause guys for this part if you want to follow step by step. But it's very important na ma-modify nyo siya ng tama sa settings or sa properties nito. Especially yung processor. So, I change it from 1 into 2 processors. And then after that, just click start. So, dito na tayo mag-start ng installation of Solaris operating system. And guys, mind you, medyo matagal to. It's just a speed up version. Naka times 16 ata to actually. And then we'll just have to wait until it asks us a language. So we chose English obviously. So select 27, click enter, and then 3, click enter. And then it will ask you again if you want to install, reboot, etc. or whatever you want. But I chose number 1 since we are installing Oracle Solaris pa lang. Then this statement should show. After that, we will rename our computer name. So mine is Test Solaris OS. And then select this and DHCP and then your region, which is Asia, Philippines. So guys, just follow my steps and then make sure na tama yung hours and minutes. And then guys, here's a very important part since you will need to set up the root password and then the username. And as you can see, I need to change it. So, it's very important to remember your password guys kasi it's a very important step pag mag-log in na tayo sa Solaris OS natin. And then, just click F2. So, yung F2 lang pala yung pinipindot ko dyan for continue. Nakalagay naman siya dun sa lower left side ng box natin. So, actually matagal to. It took maybe 20 to 40 minutes before it was able to finally finish installing. So, naka times 16 ata siya. And then, pero after that, ayan nga, may lalabas na dapat dyan na Oracle Solaris has completed successfully or installation successfully completed. So, if you saw that statement, guys, you are on the right track. And then after that, the terminal will show once again. And then it will ask you your username and then your password, which is yung kanina na nilagay natin, na sinabi ko na very important step. And hayaan nyo lang siya guys, kahit hindi na kayo mag-type dyan, kasi automatic magbubukas na dapat yung user interface ng Oracle Solaris. Since it is already installed na rin naman. So, it will ask your username, which is kanina, tinype natin is Anggega. And then, password. So, nagtatype ako actually dyan, guys. Hindi lang talaga pinapakita since ganyan talaga siya. And then, once I click enter, dapat yan yung lalabas. So, if that happens, ibig sabihin, you are on the right track. So, the only thing that you will need to do is to install the graphic package ng Solaris. So, I wasn't able to record that part, pero dyan lang din yan sa console. The only thing that you will need to do is to type a prompt. So, you will need to type sudo pkg update, and then you will have to wait for a few minutes since medyo marami-rami yung package na yun. And it, I think it took more than 10 minutes. But after that, you will still need to prompt another command, which is sudo pkg install solaris-desktop. And once you have fully installed the sudo pkg install solaris-desktop, you will need to reboot it or reboot the console by pressing F8. And then, you have to start all over again para lumabas yung user interface ng Solaris. So, medyo matagal yung process na yon, and it took for like 20 minutes para mag-open and mag-run yung mismong Solaris operating system. So, let's try to demonstrate here. So, exit and then run the virtual box again for Solaris OS. So, dapat ang lalabas na dyan is yung user interface ng Solaris OS. So, yung loading part niya guys, this one, o dapat ito yung lalabas na interface, which is a Solaris yan. And then, I just click enter. So, guys, to be honest, it took like siguro 15 minutes para completely na matapos si Oracle Solaris OS sa pag-set up. And then, after that, it should let you enter your username na ginawa natin kanina, which is Anggega, and then the password. So, this is actually a cut version or naka-cut lang siya, pero matagal yan super. And naka times 16 pa ata to. So, medyo matagal din yung processing niya since, ayun nga, malaki yung storage na kinukuha niya and mabigat yung operating system since may mga features siyang nakahanda. And then, we'll see that later on after this opens. So, yan. Nag-load na siya and it should be asking you what is your username. So guys, mapapansin nyo na there's na nasa screen, but we'll fix that later on. So let's first type in our username, which is Anggega, and then our password. So guys, to resolve this issue, kung bakit dalawa yung cursor nyo, you need to modify the device tab. So, I'll show you here kung paano siya or paano yung solution na in-implement ko for this problem. So, I have to click devices and then uncheck sa USB yung Logitech mouse. So, after that, I start to use my pad na nasa laptop. And then, I was able to move with the cursor na nasa OS natin. So, ayan na yung features ng Solaris OS. So, we have Mozilla Fox as their parang Chrome. They also have their own email system, help, and other applications as well. But I'll try to type help first. So it should show the help tab. So it kind of takes a while. Ayan. So ayan na yung help tab. And then I'll just exit just to show you this feature. And then let's try other features na meron ang Solaris. So, ito yung common apps na ginagamit, and here are all of the apps na meron si Solaris OS. So, as you can see, there's a calculator, there's a Mozilla Fox, the files, meron ding pang code dito, and other stuffs na interesting na meron pala si Solaris OS. So, all of them are functional actually, but I didn't try to run the other apps or features since mabigat talaga siya sa memory, and it's causing lags and crash sa laptop natin. So, I'll just try to demonstrate some of the features na meron dito. So, videos, since wala naman akong ginamit or wala naman pinagamitan sa OS na to, obviously, there's nothing. But let's try to see the files. So, the files actually contain a screenshot. So, ayan yung picture ng Solaris OS with their app. And then, nothing else. Since hindi ko naman siya ginamit and kaka-open ko lang siya ngayon. And then, let's try to see more features na meron si Solaris. So, napansin ko guys na meron din pala silang email. Yan yung mukhang pigeon dyan. But anyways, let's try the calculator. So it works fine. I can use keyboard. I can also use the mouse. So almost like the same features na meron yung siguro basic cell phones dati. Like meron siyang calculator, clock, Mozilla Fox, starting Chrome, ganun. So, I think that's all for the Solaris OS. And I hope that you have learned how to install or use VirtualBox as a medium to install an operating system. So, hindi lang Solaris yung kayang i-operate ni VirtualBox. There are also other operating system that you can try and install by VirtualBox. And that's all for the Solaris operating system. Installing the OS with VirtualBox, and I hope na you have enjoyed the video and the tutorial. Bye guys!
And now, the question is, can Solaris OS be installed as a dual OS with other operating systems? The answer is yes. However, there are things we need to consider. Let's jump into it one by one. First, we have to consider the compatibility. Your OS must be supported. Solaris generally plays well with other Unix-like systems like Linux or FreeBSD. Dual booting with Windows also works but requires extra care. Next, you have to consider your hardware compatibility. Different basic input-output system versions and UEFI implementations, especially the newer ones, might pose compatibility challenges. Research your specific hardware configurations to ensure smooth dual booting. Next, we have to consider the installation methods. We have to check our installer. The Solaris 11 installer for x86 platforms uses Grub as a bootloader, which can automatically detect and configure booting for other existing operating systems like Windows. Next, we have to consider the manual configuration. More experienced users can configure dual booting manually by manipulating bootloaders like Grub or installing Solaris on separate disks or partitions. Next, we have to consider other challenges such as installation order. Installing Solaris first might break your Windows installation due to changes in the boot sector. It's generally recommended to install Windows first, then Solaris. Next is the challenges in data safety. Backing up your data before attempting any dual boot setup is crucial to avoid accidental data loss. Now let's move on to the key features of Solaris. The first one here is the security features that Solaris have. First, we have the trusted extensions. This provides a comprehensive security framework for mandatory access control, auditing, and intrusion detection. Next feature is a Solaris Trusted Boot. This ensures that only authorized software can boot the system. Next feature are the features of scalability and performance. Solaris have D-Trace, a powerful dynamic tracing tool that allows you to not intrusively monitor the performance of any part of the system in real time. Next, we have here the Solaris Zones. It is a lightweight virtualizations containers that allows you to run multiple isolated environments on a single system. Next, we have the Solaris Multiplex Input-Output. This improves the input and output by allowing multiple processes to share a single network connection. Next feature, we will talk about the reliability and availability feature. For this one, we have Service Management Facility. This provides a framework for managing and monitoring systems.
Now let's move forward to the requirements of installing the Solaris OS. So, as a background, Solaris is a Unix-based operating system developed by Sun Microsystems. Now, it is owned by Oracle Corporation. One of its standout features is its ability to work on different types of computers, whether they use Spark or x86 processors. It is known for its scalability, reliability, and security features, making it suitable for a range of hardware platforms. So what you can see in the screen are some of the requirements for installing the OS. Let's start with the processor or the CPU. For Spark-based systems, we have 200 MHz or faster processor for our required CPU. For our x86-based systems, we only need 120 MHz or faster as our recommended CPU. For the memory or the RAM, the amount of RAM required depends on the Solaris version and the intended use. For Spark systems, we need 384 MB as our minimum memory, but the recommended memory is 512 MB. For x86 systems, our minimum memory required is 768, while the recommended memory is 1 gig. So for our disk space, Solaris requires a certain amount of disk space for installation. The exact requirements can vary, but you'll need space for the operating system itself, system files, and any additional software or data. 2 gig minimum for the smallest set of packages, 6 gig for most popular Solaris packages. But in reality, it always vary. For example, there are instances that the package needs 32 gig free space on the system. So it varies per device and per context. So take note that the required disk space will vary based on the operating system packages selected, desktop or server use. The site swap and temporary space, localizations, translations, OLED documentation, and application installed. Now let's move forward to the other requirements. Next is the network interface. A network interface is required for network connectivity because just like what we see earlier in the demo, we can see that there is a network section in our settings there. So we need a network interface. It ensures that the system has a supported network interface card and configure the network settings during the installation process. Next is the installation media. Installation media, such as CD or DVD or a USB drive containing the Solaris installation files. Make sure the media is bootable and compatible with the hardware. So, since we can also have the Solaris OS be installed in a bootable drive, of course, we need an installation media like CD or DVD or USB drive. But since what we did in our demo is just use a virtual box machine, for this demo, we didn't use any USB drive. So next is the BIOS or UEFI settings. BIOS or Basic Input-Output System and UEFI or Unified Extensible Firmware Interface are firmware interfaces that play a crucial role in the initialization and booting process of a computer. It ensures that the system's BIOS or UEFI settings are configured correctly to boot from the installation media. Now let's move forward in how to install Solaris OS. So for this, since it is already discussed in the demo, we won't be discussing it bit by bit, but instead we will discuss its key installation procedures. So we have three main procedures for installing the Solaris OS. First, it is important that we install a virtual box machine. So for our demo, we install a virtual box machine, but another way to install the Solaris OS is through a bootable drive. So it's either you install a virtual box machine or have a bootable drive instead. So either of the two, uh, you may use virtual box machine or a bootable drive, you will still use the ISO file. So it's also important to install the ISO file. Next is set up the installation on VM VirtualBox. So again, if you didn't use the VM VirtualBox, you can use the bootable drive using Rufus. So next, since we demonstrated how to use VirtualBox, I will demonstrate to you what we did step by step. So first, we install the VirtualBox in this link. So, we choose Windows host because our device is in Windows. So next is we choose the x86 text installer. Then we imported the ISO file to the VMbox. Next is just observe all of the preferences, all of the settings in this uh, slide. For example, the general, the system display, storage, audio, network. These parts are all important parts for installing or setting up the ISO file in the VM software. Next, before that, after starting, uh, after this, we need to click the start button here. After some booting processes, it will take us to this slide which is a system configuration tool. We will just need to press F2 to continue. Then, we need to set up our root password and also our credentials. Then, it will post a summary on the screen. Then, after that, we are now able to install the Solaris package interface.
Now let's talk about Solaris OS environment. So Solaris is a Unix-based operating system developed by Sun Microsystem, now owned by Oracle Corporation. It's renowned for its robustness, scalability, and reliability, particularly in enterprise environments. So here are some key aspects of the Solaris OS environment. So first is kernel. Solaris has a highly optimized modular kernel architecture, supporting features like virtual memory management and SMP. Next is the ZFS file system. Solaris used the zettabyte file system or ZFS, which provides features like data integrity, automatic repair, and stop shooting. Next is networking. Solaris has strong networking capabilities, including support for IPv6 and high performance networking protocols. Next is security. Solaris is a very secure operating system with features like role based access control and mandatory access control. Then, the performance and monitoring. Solaris includes performance monitoring tools like dtrace and systems resource utilities such as VMstat, IOstat, and PRstat. Then, then the development tools. Solaris offers a comprehensive set of development tools and libraries, including compilers, debuggers, and performance profiling tools. Next is high availability. Solaris supports building highly available systems with features like clustering, hot swappable hardware, and predictive self-healing. Next is compatibility. Solaris maintains backward compatibility with existing applications and systems, allowing organizations to migrate legacy software seamlessly. Next is support and documentation. Solaris provides extensive documentation and support options from Oracle, including knowledge base articles and community forums. So overall, offers a powerful and stable platform for running mission-critical applications in enterprise environments, with features designed to meet the demands of modern computing infrastructures. Okay, now so let's compare Solaris and Windows. Comparing Solaris with Windows involves examining various aspects of each operating system, including their architecture, features, target markets, and user experiences. So in terms of architecture, as I've said a while ago, Solaris is based on the Unix operating system architecture. It has a monolithic kernel design, which means that the most of the operating system services run in kernel space, while Windows has a hybrid kernel architecture, combining aspects of both monolithic and microkernel design. Then in terms of file system, Solaris primarily uses the ZFS or zettabyte file system as its default file system, while in Windows, it typically uses the NTFS or New Technology File System. Then, user interface, Solaris traditionally used the Common Desktop Environment or CDE or GNOME as its desktop environment with a focus on stability and functionality rather than graphical flair. While Windows is known for its graphical user interface or GUI, with features like Start Menu, Taskbar, and Windows Explorer for file management. Then sa applications and compatibility, Solaris has a smaller ecosystem of application compared to Windows, particularly in terms of desktop software. While sa Windows, it has a vast ecosystem of third-party application and enjoys widespread support from software developers. Then in terms of security, Solaris is renowned for its security features, including role-based access control or RBAC, mandatory access controls, cryptographic frameworks, and auditing capabilities. While Windows has improved its security over the years with features like Windows Defender Antivirus, Account Control or UAC, BitLocker encryption, and Windows Firewall. In terms of usage and target markets, Solaris is commonly used in enterprise environments, particularly for mission-critical application, database servers, and high-performance computing or HPC clusters. Then in Windows, it is widely used in across various sectors, including desktop computing, gaming, enterprise IT, and embedded system. Then in support and licensing, Solaris is developed and supported by Oracle Corporation. It offers both commercial and open source distribution with different support options available for enterprise customers. While in Windows, it is developed and supported by Microsoft Corporation with various editions available for different market segments. So to sum it all, Solaris and Windows are designed for different use cases and have distinct strengths and weaknesses. Solaris excels in scalability, reliability, and security for enterprise workloads, while Windows offers a more user-friendly experience and broader application compatibility for desktop computing. So that's all for the comparison of Solaris OS and Windows.
Now let's discuss the good and not so good sides of Solaris OS. Advantages of Solaris operating system. Better support. Responsive and long-term support. Solaris provides robust and responsive support in enterprise environments, ensuring long-term support for each OS versions. Solaris zones. Solaris zones allows the efficient division of OS resources, allocating specific memory and storage to achieve distinct tasks. Recovery. Reliable data recovery. Solaris is known for its reliability in data recovery, swiftly identifies and rectifies system faults, and system configuration is efficiently managed by administrators. Handle high workload or optimize performance. Solaris excels under high workloads, ensuring fast system performance due to its development using C and C++ programming languages, facilitating quick communications between the hardware and the software. Fifth is works on all systems, versatile and hardware support. Solaris runs on a wide range of machines, from small setups to large enterprise systems, demonstrating compatibility with various hardware configurations. Advanced File System or ZFS. Support for the ZFS files in Solaris ensures easy administration, data integrity, and snapshot capabilities, enhancing the overall user experience. Third-party software. Broad software support. Solaris accommodates any Unix-compatible software, offering compatibility with diverse range of hardware and software applications. Also, Solaris is more secure. Enhanced security features. Solaris boasts advanced security features including mandatory access controls, role-based access controls or RBAC, and the Solaris cryptographic framework ensuring a high level of system security. Better extensions, efficiency enhancement. This incorporates secure extensions that enhance OS functionality, particularly in sensitive environments, delivering optimal performance. Debugging with dtrace. Powerful debugging tool. Solaris features dtrace, a powerful tool for debugging and system performance analysis, contributing to efficient system maintenance. Reading manuals. Comprehensive manuals offers extensive documentation, providing valuable guidance to users and administrators, aiding in problem resolution and skill development. Now let's go with our cons or disadvantages of Solaris operating system. Oracle relation. Oracle-centric focus. As Solaris is owned by Oracle, it tends to cater more to Oracle users, potentially limiting its appeal to a broader user base. Text-based interface or complex installation. Solaris relies on a text-based interface, making the installation process challenging for users accustomed to graphical interfaces. Lack of professionals. Limited skill pool due to its lower popularity. Finding skilled Solaris professionals can be challenging compared to more widely used operating systems like Windows and Linux. Ideal for servers. Enterprise focus. Solaris is primarily targeted towards enterprises and server systems, making it less suitable for desktop use. Higher cost or costly license. Solaris requires a paid license, leading to higher costs compared to free alternative like Linux. Organizations with tight budgets may find it less affordable. Updates duration. Infrequent updates. Solaris updates are not as frequent as some other operating systems. Major updates may have longer intervals, potentially delaying access to new features and improvements. Solaris is harder to learn. Steep learning curve. Solaris has a steeper learning curve compared to other operating systems, making it more challenging for non-programmer or non-administrator users to adapt. Problems with older software. Compatibility issues may encounter compatibility problems with new versions of Solaris, posing challenges for users relying on legacy application. And that's it, guys, our pros and cons for Solaris operating system.